Today, we are tackling a case that's less about a trademark clash and more about a cultural one. We are talking about a film that pushed boundaries and faced a legal challenge not from a rival company, but from a concerned non-profit. Get ready for the spicy saga of Kya Cool Hai Hum 3. Welcome back to Entertainment and IPR Uncovered, the show that dissects the legal drama behind the silver screen. A genre bends the rules. In 2016, Balaji Motion Pictures, a production house known for its bold and often controversial projects, released Kya Cool Hai Hum 3. The film was unapologetically promoted as India's first porncom. It was part of a popular franchise and promised to deliver on the adult comedy genre's raunchy, over-the-top humor. The film's plot revolved around two friends who stumble into the adult film industry. The marketing was loud, the trailers were filled with double entendres, and the posters left little to the imagination. This is where the unique nature of this dispute comes in. It wasn't about a trademark, per se, but about the use of that mark in a way that an NGO claimed was inappropriate and misleading. A non-governmental organization, NGO, filed a lawsuit against Balaji Motion Pictures in the Bombay High Court. They argued that the film's content was vulgar and obscene and that its title, along with its promotion, was deceptive. Their core argument was that the film was a porncom, a term that they believed was a misrepresentation and an attack on public morality. IPR Insights, protecting more than just a brand. While this case might seem like a departure from our usual trademark battles, it's actually deeply rooted in a different type of intellectual property, the moral and public interest aspects of a creative work. When a title is questioned on grounds of obscenity or public nuisance, it brings into play a different set of laws, particularly those governing censorship and public order, which are often administered by bodies like the Central Board of Film Certification, CBFC, in India. In this instance, the dispute wasn't about one company's mark infringing on another's. It was about whether the film's content and its representation violated public norms and legal standards for obscenity. The producers had a clear argument. They had obtained a certificate from the CBFC, which is the official body responsible for clearing films for public viewing. This certificate, particularly an A, adults only, rating, is a form of regulatory clearance and acts as a shield against legal challenges related to content. By clearing the film with an A rating, the CBFC had effectively deemed it suitable for public exhibition, albeit for a restricted audience. The outcome, a censor's final word. Despite the legal challenge from the NGO, the film was ultimately cleared by the CBFC and released to a paying audience. The court in this case deferred to the authority of the CBFC. While the NGO did receive notices, the High Court did not grant a stay on the film's release. The court essentially upheld the principle that once a film has been examined and certified by the designated government body, it is a valid work of art, even if its content is controversial. It's important to note that the CBFC had, in fact, ordered several cuts to the film. The film's producers had to comply with a long list of changes, including removing certain dialogues and visuals, to secure the A certificate. This process highlights a key aspect of IP in a regulated industry. Creative expression is not limitless and must adhere to certain standards of morality and decency, as defined by the certifying body. This wasn't a case of a single trademark being protected, but of a whole work's public dissemination being evaluated by a government authority. Closing note. The Kya Cool Hai Hum 3 case is a fascinating example of how creative freedom and public morality can collide in the legal arena. It shows us that in the world of entertainment and IP, the issues aren't always black and white, and the lines can be blurred between a creative choice and a public offense. It also underscores the power of a government-sanctioned body like the CBFC to act as a final arbiter of what can or cannot be shown to the public. What's your take? Should a film's title and content be subject to legal challenges even after it's cleared by a censor board? Or is the CBFC's certification the final say? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more fascinating tales from the world of intellectual property, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. We'll see you next time on Entertainment and IP Uncovered.